So women are not as dangerous as men when it comes to ruining your life as a man, right? Because women will mostly walk into your life 6 months. They see you're a loser, they walk out of it, right? They waste your time, but at least they walk out after 6 months, right? Maybe a year. But you see, bad male friends, the friends I'll talk about in this video, the kind of men you should avoid, right? This kind of men will stay in your life for 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years. And slowly they chip away your discipline, your ambition, your goals. And the last kind of friend is the one I kept for the last, right? The kind of guy that you completely cut off is the one I saved for the last. Right, so be very, very careful to stay to the end of this video. One is the emotionally weak man. These are guys who are like puppets, right? They're always controlled by their emotions. Under pressure, they fold. They have massive mood swings. They rely on impulse behaviors. So the guys who is simp, basically simp for women. I tell you this as a guy, never ever hang around a guy who will do anything for the VJJ. He's willing to pander, lie for the VJJ. These are guys you should cut off. These are guys that will switch on you anytime. They switch behaviors. And how it affects you, because all these habits, they rub off on you as a man. That's why they tell you you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with. You see, people like this will make you reactive. They'll tell you to be more in tune with your emotions. What that means is you should act on your emotions, right? And whether you like it or not, as a man, when you begin to act on your emotions, you begin to lose discipline. You're going to start relying on motivation to take action, right? But in reality, as a man, you need discipline. Fuck your emotions. You're supposed to control your emotions, not let them control you. So men like this, they'll watch you. They rather you be controlled by your emotions than you control your emotions, right? And that's a problem there. Cut those guys off. Two, the victim. You see, he's always out there blaming people for every single thing wrong. He blames his upbringing, he blames the government, even if two of you get into an argument where he is wrong, right? He will often blame you for it, right? And to him, he can never be at fault. To him, he's perfect. To him, there's nothing wrong with him. You see, people like this, right? If they hang around you for too long, whether like it or not, you begin to blame other people. You begin to make excuses for why you're not doing the things you're supposed to do in your life. You begin to become mediocre, average man. I told you, if you follow my channel, you get to realize that it's a crime these days to be an average man, right? So people who blame everything, right, but never take up responsibility for their lives, these are the guys you should avoid at all costs, because they will make you indisciplined, they'll make you mediocre, they make you make excuses, right? Again, these guys, they blame short. You hear things like, oh, the day you tell your friend who's a victim, who has a victim mindset, that, oh, I want to become rich someday. They start telling you how it's impossible for you to be rich. They start talking about how, oh, those guys who are rich, they're not really rich, they're rich because they have rich parents. These are guys you should completely avoid. Three is the addict, right? Any of your male friends who is always chasing dopamine, whether it's drugs, weed, sex, always chasing cheap pleasures. These are the kind of friends who they would only call you when there's pleasure involved. When there's something to be shared that does not involve pleasure, they completely ignore you. They don't even think about you, right? They're always looking for ways to escape. Every new way to escape, whether it's from video games. So these guys, they go from addiction to addiction. Maybe from video games, they begin to compound into drugs, into porn, even down to chasing women, always looking for the next high. You see, when you hang around men like this, right, they begin to pull you into this dopamine state where you're always chasing the next high, right? You wake up in the morning, you use your phone, you text them, they text you back, they send you memes, you start consuming content early in the mornings, you barely even have time for yourself, you barely even have time to do the work. Now see, I'm not to tell you to go to the other extreme, right, and never have fun. I'll tell you this as a man, men like this who chase hedonism, and they're very dangerous basically, right? So you should have fun, but have friends who know whose fun have limits, who know that there's a time to have fun and there's a time to get serious. So those are the kind of men you want to have around you. The next set of people you should avoid are the sneaky ones, like snakes in the grass, right? These are friends who would always gossip. They gossip, they are always jealous, and they kind of betray you. You see, these are friends who would, in your front, be happy for your success. They will never share your success. They will never share it. They'll never share it. They're happy for you in your front. But the day you make a mistake, they will broadcast that mistake so far. The day you fail, right, maybe a business, they will broadcast that shit so far. The day you give up on your goals or your dreams, they will broadcast that shit so far. And it reminds me of a saying by Jordan Peterson that says, be very careful of the people you share good news with, because they could be sad for your good news. They pretend you're front, but they could be sad. Be careful of the people you share bad news with, because they could feel they're happy inside. They may show you that they are bad in the inside, but they feel happy on the inside. Be very careful about people you share good news and people you share bad news with. And people like this, how you know them is they would always give you bad news of other people. Oh, I had this friend, this is what he did, XYZ, but they will never tell you about when that person is winning. And when you begin to pick up habits like this, you begin to lose trust in people, right? And this mostly happens in circles. The circle begins to feel very, very isolated, because when you gossip about somebody, when you always hear negative things about somebody, you tend to want to alienate yourself from the person who you're hearing negative things about. But never about the person who is telling you negative things, because you think it's your friend. That's the point. They keep trying to make this friendship where I'm your friend, I'm not podcasting the evil of somebody else. And before you know it, the circle begins to break, the circle begins to crack, right? The next set of people are the pretenders. These are the people who would rather look the part, but they will barely ever be the part. These are the guys whose social medias are very, very flashy, but in reality, they are broke. These are the guys who, they will go to the club, all of you will bring maybe your chicks and like you guys will put the funds together to buy drinks together. But they will hold the bottle to themselves and take pictures with the ladies. Right? Take a few pictures to post like they're the ones who sponsor the entire movement. They play the fake card, they play the look it, they play the fake it card, but never the make it card, because that's not their job. They never want to take the actual action. They want to always play the looks game. Right? You see, when you have these guys around you, that thinking affects you, because you begin to think, oh, let me work on things at a shallow level, never at a deep level. And you begin to pick up this same thought process, which itself kind of like looks like shortcuts, but in reality, it comes back to haunt you, because it leads to you not having real confidence. It leads to you never mastering anything. Any small progress you make, you feel like, now, why should I make this progress if I can just focus on what? The attractive part of it, the looks part of it. This is why I see too many guys, they look smart, but they do not have the confidence to go out there and approach women. Even, no matter how attractive they look. This is what I tell you. That's why in my yesterday's video, I said you should not chase perfection before you start talking to women. Go out there and get rejected. Know why you're rejected. At least if you're making improvement on those things, you will know, because you'll be less rejected, right? So say women as a litmus test, but I digress just a bit, right? But the next sort of people, they are even worse than the pretenders. You see, they're the lazy dreamers. These are the guys, they have all the ideas in the world, but they barely take action. These guys, they dream big, but zero action. These are the guys that tell you, oh, based on my plan, this is not the perfect moment right now. It's not the perfect moment. Let's wait just a little bit. Let's wait just a little bit. Oh, I will start next week Monday. It's best if I start on a fresh day. And that's a problem. Right? Because when you hang around guys like this, when you have ideas for yourself, they always try to figure out why your plan is not perfect. They always look for it. That, oh, you know what? It's best if you start next month. Because by next month, you may have lost motivation. You see, guys like this, they think they need more preparation, more action, more knowledge. But in reality, they're just dreamers. They're afraid of the real action. But in reality, as Nike says, just do it. If you just do it, and you keep doing it, and you keep failing at it, at some point you get better at it. So you need to cut people like this off, because you need to cut them off, because it would always make you realize that there's something to be done. Instead of taking action, oh, there's a book to be read, oh, there's a plan to be planned, but never taking action. The last sort of people, right, are the complainers. These are the people who would always see everything negative. They always see everything negative. That is, if I start a business, what if I fail? What if I never launch? They never ask. It never occurs to their brain to ask, okay, what will it be like if I succeed? The crazy part is, as a realist, right, which I am, I will say this. Every time a thought comes to you, oh, what if I fail? Ask yourself, okay, what will cause the failure? Instead of running away from the failure, what will cause the failure? For example, okay, I'm talking to a woman, right? Again, this is why you're taking action though. Because it can never be perfect. When I'm talking to a woman or approaching women, right, you want to get rid of the approach anxiety. When you ask yourself, okay, why would I fail? Okay, they can reject me because of my looks. Okay, while I'm approaching women, what if I upgrade my looks? Okay, have a nice haircut. What if I practice my speech? What if I, because I see somebody who fumbles on his speech, and you could hear it in my videos a lot, right? So what happens is practice speaking. The crazy part is that the more I speak to camera, the easier it is to like talk to girls. For me to calm down my speech and talk to girls, the easier it is, right? But again, I digress. But a complainer, right? They will always be tired, always have negative thoughts, and how it affects you is because it will kill any small momentum you have. When I'm talking to guys, try to coach them, and I often hear, okay, why did you stop making progress on your goals and your dreams? I often hear this idea of, oh, my friend said this, my friend. And mind you, these are your friends. They look like well wishers. And some of them, they're actual well wishers. Because they're not capable of leading themselves, because they are losers. They often want you to lose subconsciously. Some consciously, though, but some of them subconsciously. Because the complainer himself, he's not actively doing it. He's not actively doing it. He's just doing it in his mind. He's doing the right thing by making you see the negative side. So he's killing your momentum. He's draining your motivation completely. What that means is that you can't even make any progress around the complainer, right? So instead, if I say you have a complainer friend, right, and it brings up any problem or why your thing could fail, why don't you be proactive to fixing that thing? Oh, why women will reject is because you don't dress well. Why don't you dress well? Oh, if you start a business, you could run out of cash before your product makes profit. Why don't you not think of how to control your expenses? You see, whether I like this or not, right? Instead of seeing them as evil, see them as, oh, you're now in charge of your life, right? You can use this data to further your life as a man, but I don't feel like go too deep into that because that's not why you are here. So by the way, if you want to work with me, right, you can connect with me with any of the links in the description, right? You can connect with me directly. Or if you want to hang around men who are of a different breed, men who are hybrid, men who are high thinking, men who are on the path, brothers of the path, who will hold you accountable. If you bring any idea to them, they're looking for reasons on or other ways on how you can succeed more than how you can fail. These are brothers you want around you. So I'd like you to click, if you want to talk to men like this and you want to hang around them, I'd like you to connect with the free community that is in the link that is in the I'd like you to use the link in the description of this video or audio wherever you're watching this thing. Talk to you soon and bye for now, brother.